Alright, let's just get it out of the way that this isn't going to be a video where I just show you exactly where everything is, or give a play-by-play of how to go from point A to point B around the map. Part of the fun of getting a new map is actually exploring it for yourself. You know, discovering all the locations and the secrets, all that, just naturally as you play. And I've played an unhealthy amount of the stress test, and I can say after all of that time, I'm still discovering new stuff, new little nooks and crannies. I mean, just recording footage for this video, I found a little thing I'd never seen before, and I don't want to, like, spoil that experience for other people, but what this video will do is it will teach you how to navigate Gateway, the do's and don'ts, how you orient yourself anywhere on the island, and why flying around with Terra the moment Gateway launches is actually counterproductive to learning the map. Alright, to start off, Gateway is massive. It has multiple biomes, it's got amazing views, and there's no shortage of interesting locations dotted all around it. However, despite its size, and taking roughly 2 hours for me to do a full circuit around the map, it wasn't even a full circuit really, it's actually rather compact. Even with only 20 players online while I was getting most of this footage, I encountered players spread across pretty much the entire map in different zones. Really can't wait to see how a full server looks on Gateway. And the thing is, whereas Spyro is just mostly flat, it's like a square that's just zigzagged by some rivers and forests just haphazardly around, the playable area of Gateway, it sort of reminds me of Skyrim, in the way that it funnels the player like through these valleys around these mountains, and like despite on paper having like a huge playable area with, I mean, you'd look at it compared to Spyro and go, oh, that's massive, like you're not gonna find people. It's actually far more compact just because of the way it's designed. But alright, the first step to navigating Gateway is to orient yourself. You need to know where you are in order to figure out where you're going most of the time. So, start off, Gateway is a proper island. It's not like Spyro, where you can just run into an invisible wall on land. No, if you walk in one direction long enough, you will reach the coast. If you are completely and utterly lost, just hopelessly lost, you can just pick a direction and you will eventually find something to orient yourself with. Ocean to your north? Congratulations, you're on the north coast. Ocean to your east? Congratulations, you're on the east coast, and you can figure out where to go from there. But let's say you don't want to wander aimlessly towards undrinkable water on the edge of the map. You know, you enjoy living and not dying of dehydration. Well, you're in luck. There is a central river that bisects the map. And it starts all the way in water access up in the north, and it terminates in River Delta, which is to the southeast of the map. Now, with this in mind, we can divide the island into two quadrants, east of the river and west of the river. If you are east of the river, it is impossible for you to head west without eventually reaching some point of the river. If you are west of the river, the same is true if you head east. Because the river runs from one end of the island to the other, you cannot go in the direction of it without running into it in some way. And because of the river's somewhat central location and its unavoidability, it serves as an excellent landmark to orient yourself. And on top of that, it is also a reliable source of fresh water, and there is plenty of grass for hungry herbivores far from their migration zones to graze on as well. With this in mind, you can be lost in the middle of a forest, in the middle of the night, but as long as you know which side of the island you are on, you can always find your way to food, water, and recognizable landmarks. Speaking of landmarks, these are locations that can help you figure out where you are in relation to other areas of the map. It can be as simple as a particular pond, or a human structure, or it can be as grand as a mountain or an aviary that can be seen from nearly any point in the map. So simple landmarks are something that helps you figure out where you are. They're the little locations that you recognize and allow you to tap into your knowledge of the local area. Like, take this pond, for example. Just seeing this pond, just thinking about where this pond is, the moment I recognize it, I can immediately go, okay, right. I'm right next to the Central River, I'm on its east side. If I follow the river downstream, I can easily make my way to the river delta or swamp. If I follow it upstream, I can go to water access. And then from water access, it's pretty easy to go all the way to highlands. Just knowing where I am allows me to plan where I'm going. But what if you aren't in an area that you recognize? That is where significant landmarks come into play. The volcano, Highlands caldera, the biodome, the aviaries. These are massive points of interest that can be seen from across the map. Like, if you're in the middle of a forest, it can be hard to see some of this stuff, but the moment you spot one of them, suddenly you know, okay, that's where that is, so this must be where I am. Once you have knowledge of the local areas around these significant landmarks, you know how to move around them and what places lead to them, you can actually use them as waypoints to move from one significant landmark to another. Oh, and one thing I should probably put in here, for anyone that doesn't know how to read the compass. So the part where it goes up, this little up arrow, that points north. The down arrow, that points south. And east and west, which I don't think as many people know, are these tiny little white lines you see, halfway between the north and south on the compass, and that's how you can tell what direction you're looking. Now we have directions and landmarks out of the way, it's time to look at roads and migrations. Roads are your friend, okay? Like they are your friend. They may twist and turn and fork in confusing directions. Some lead to dead ends, some seem like they're just leading you in the complete opposite direction you need to go. But unless you have an incredibly good sense of direction and a good lay of the land, they are necessary to navigate certain areas of the map. Sure, you may want to Skyrim your way up a mountain or cut straight through a forest, but a road guarantees that you won't go flying off a cliff at Mach 5 or get lost in an endless jungle and then starve to death because you can't graze or dehydrate to death because you can't find water. So roads are especially useful when you're traversing the map at night, when darkness hides significant landmarks in the distance from view, and when simple landmarks become more difficult to recognize or see because you just have such a limited area that you can see. Now, I'm not going to go into a huge amount of detail about migration zones. I'm sure someone's probably made a video explaining them pretty well. But just a brief overview. Migration zones are areas that spawn diet plants for herbivores. They are marked on your compass at all times. For herbivores, the symbol points to your species' current migration zone. No matter where you are on the map, it will point to this singular location, making it a useful tool for navigation as it will tell you exactly where the migration zone is from anywhere on the map. With a little bit of knowledge of what migration zones your species has, it actually becomes pretty easy to pinpoint where the compass is leading you to, even from pretty far away. If you have a migration in Highlands, for example, you can fairly accurately orient yourself around the map by noting the direction that the migration symbol is trying to lead you. And for carnivores, there's a lot of confusion about this. For carnivores, the migration symbol points to the nearest active migration zone for prey on your diet. It is not your carnivore's migration zone. It doesn't change because of anything your carnivore is doing. It's simply the active migration zone of a playable that's on your diet. And it will change whenever you get closer to another migration zone that is active. Okay, with all of this in mind, let's see how I get around from being completely lost in a forest. Okay, for this let's spawn as Hipsy. Can't be bothered to grow another galley. We got all these spawns. Let's do RSI 12. Now, I don't know exactly where that actually is. It's somewhere in here, I believe. Somewhere very central on the island. But even just that tiny bit of knowledge does a lot. Okay, we start off dawn, have no clue where I am, pretty much no landmarks around, just forest. We can work with this. So actually, first off, migration is sending me south. So my guess, if it's sending me south from here, that's probably sending me to River Delta. And yeah, right there. Okay, I know exactly where I am now. So that over there, volcano. That over there, the aviary that's on the eastern part of the island. I believe I can make out the fences way over there. So yeah, I am now completely oriented right now. I know generally where I am. The river is just that way if I head down, and actually the river is also that way because it takes a little bend over there. But alright, let's continue. Let's go through here. And I think, yeah, it's Highlands. Yeah, it's a little caldera. I say little, it's a huge area. Caldera with all like the jagged mountains and such. And I think if it was daytime, I'd be able to see that the grass around here is the sort of more yellowish, drier grass. Okay, let's say it was the middle of the night. Let's say it was the middle of the night, and I couldn't see any of this. Say it was thunderstorming. So I'd have, like, no night vision range whatsoever. So in that case, and also ignoring the fact that there's a human base here and a road to follow, and this road will lead all the way down to the water. So assuming I could see nothing right now, nothing at all I'd have to go is, right, I know I am on the western side of the river, so if I head straight east, you know, just ignoring everything else, all the other clues, just assuming that I am pretty much blind, if I head straight east, I should eventually find my way to the river. Let's have these little... I don't know if you call these game trails. Like, there's a couple things that sort of match the description of game trails. Ooh, actually, it's gonna be more eastish, actually. That's not River Delta. Interesting. Honestly, I haven't played that much Hipsy. Actually, I haven't played Hipsy at all, so I'm not really aware what its migrations actually are. Pretty familiar with everything else but Hipsy. Okay, ooh. And see, this is why you follow roads most of the time. Because you might run into something like this. But I think I can manage. They tend to lead you... Yep, here we are, river. So just heading... What is it? Pretty much straight east, I am guaranteed to hit the river from this side of the map. So even if I had nothing else, you know, not following the roads, not taking into account any other landmarks, just heading east allows me to get where I need to go. And from here, I can orient myself to, well, the entire map. Now I know I can go to River Delta down there, so obviously this is not going to River Delta. But I can also head, you know, up all the way to water access. And from there, it's easy to go to Highlands or Northeast Plains. Alright, let's do another one. So playing Hipsy, middle of the forest, night, soon to be morning. I was gonna wait for a thunderstorm, but didn't get one to make things darker. But okay, right now, I mean, the knowledge I have of where I am on the map is I am somewhere north-ish of the volcano, I think? Something like that. So, okay, I'm lost somewhere north-ish of the volcano, in the middle of a forest. So, where do I go from here? Well, first off, I'm just now noticing I've got a fence here. And the fence Now I could just jump over it. I could just, you know, go boing, boing, and through. Ooh, there's a road on that side. That's a bit of a fall. They terminate somewhere. Like, instantly, okay. So, ooh. Okay, that's cool. I've never actually seen that before. You see, I have how many outlets in this map, and I haven't seen that? I imagine if I followed this fence down that way, there's probably a point where this road goes in, but okay, right. Instantly found the road. Okay, that ruins a little bit of the, like, oh, I'm gonna explore and find my way out, and oh, instantly road. If I follow this road, I will make it where I'm going, probably. Yeah, this will just go... Don't know where that heads exactly, but that one will definitely lead me to water access, unless it terminates there. Alright, roads are your friend, but I am not going to use them for the purpose of this. It's supposed to be me trying to figure out how to get places while I'm lost, not immediately find something recognizable. Okay, this will be good. But yeah, normal survival situation, just, you know, follow the road. It'll probably lead you where you're going, and you won't fly off a cliff. Especially if you're something bigger than a Hipsy. Okay, let's get deep in here. There we go, some proper jungle. Here we go. Okay, right. Can't see anything other than the road over there, or knowing that I came from sort of over there if I'm recalling correctly. Right. What do you do when you're just in this situation? No clue where to go. Okay, use the compass and go right. I am east of the river. So that means if I head west, I will run into the river or water access. I can also sniff for water too. Right, find a little path like this, and you know what? This is going to cross the road down there. But you know what? Let's assume I don't have something like that. Let's assume I didn't find that or that road. And I am only relying on heading west from here. Just with absolutely nothing else. Now that... I don't think that's water access. I think that's ocean right there. But ocean is good to orient yourself as well. And of course, night is lighting up just as the storm comes in, so I'm still going to be able to see quite a bit more than I would at night. But okay, let's go right. Lost or whatever, and I go, okay, ocean. Now this doesn't tell me anything right here. But if I go right, I am on the north side of the island. On the north side of the island, I found the ocean. So, if I just... oh no. Oh no. Not like this. So if I go, okay, right, if I find the ocean, just follow it with it to my right, and I'll keep heading west. And eventually, I'll find something recognizable. And go... Alright, right here, I know exactly where I am. That's water access right there with the massive dam. And there you go, we got water access here. And let's see, you can't see the volcano from here, but if I was going to, let's say, Highlands, well, there it is over there. That's the, you know, craggedy rocks over there that mark Highlands. Now, you might have noticed earlier that I didn't highlight this area on the western end of the island. We'll just call this area No Man's Land. Currently, there are no migrations in this region. This means herbivores have no reason to go here, and by extension, carnivores have nothing to eat here but what little AI spawns. It definitely feels like the devs are cooking something here. It definitely feels like a less finished portion of the island, but at the moment, it is just a desolate region, and you're best off just avoiding it unless you're going out of your way to explore. And finally, just real quick, I want to explain why you shouldn't just play Terra the moment Gateway launches. Sure, you gain a bird's eye view of the map, and that seems like a good idea. And I'm not gonna knock anyone for doing that. I'm not gonna tell you how to play the game. I mean, you bought it, play it how you want. But trying to learn the map with Terra is actually counterproductive, in my opinion. So first, the only thing you really learn with Terra are significant landmarks, but even then you're learning what they look like from the air. You're not identifying them from the ground. You're not learning how to see them from the ground or recognize them from angles that aren't, a mile in the sky. You'll fly past simple landmarks and just not notice them, or you won't spend enough time around the area to actually learn the local geography. Second, you won't learn migration zones or how to navigate between them. Simply flying to significant landmarks means you don't learn the lay of the land. You won't learn what roads lead where or how to recognize where you are with a purely terrestrial view. You may have the illusion of map knowledge, but you will quickly find yourself lost when you realize that your Tenontosaurus can't jump 100 feet in the air to figure out where it is. I mean, just my advice, if you really want to explore Gateway to its fullest on day one once it launches, do yourself a favor and play Galley instead. Not only is it the fastest playable in the game besides Terra, but it is also an omnivore that is capable of both grazing and foraging for food. This versatility allows it to survive comfortably just about anywhere, even the area I've marked as Badlands. I mean, it can survive off of frogs. Just over there, it can forage if it can't find frogs. Like, it is very, very adaptable. And no, this message is not sponsored by a Carno, okay? I'm not just trying to get you all to play Galley so I can play Carno. I'm not doing that, maybe. So, with all of that said, I hope to see you on Gateway soon. It is a fantastic map, and I can't wait to get, full servers of people played. I'm sure the devs can't wait for people to see it. It is fantastic. Like, the difference between it and Spyro is really night and day.